Disc golf is the best sport that you've never heard of. And today I'm going to teach you how to putt in disc golf. Disc golf has discs. It's like golf, but instead of throwing or hitting a ball into a hole, you throw these discs into these chains and they fall down in the basket. Then you just keep your score of however many shots it takes you to go from the starting tee pad to making it into the basket. Now, some of these holes go over water, some are through trees, some are just in open fields. There's all kinds of different disc golf courses all around, and disc golf is free. So there's three different kinds of discs. The first disc is a driver. Now you see this has a really thin flight plate. This means you can throw it with a lot of force, use your body, and it will cut through the air and you can go far because a lot of times these baskets can be to 600 feet away. So you use your driver to get down close to the basket. Now, once you get closer to the basket, your next disc is going to be a mid-range. You see, the mid-range has a thicker flight plate. So when you throw the mid-range, you're actually going to use a little less power and just more control. That way we can get super close to the basket because the closer you are, the easier it is to putt. And that brings out the next disc, the putter. You see, the putter has a really wide flight plate here. This means that it's extremely slow, but it's very easy to control. And it usually goes on a pretty straight line. The other discs have more of a curve to them when you throw them. So, in order to become a good putter, you need to know grip, stance, release, and mindset. And that's what we're going to cover here today. And you may not even play disc golf, but out of the blue, you may get a call from a friend saying, hey, we're going to go play disc golf. And this video will help you because if you go out and play and you have no idea how to putt, you can throw up to the basket and just sit there for minutes trying to make it in and you just keep missing it. So these basics understandings of putting will help any beginner out there. So let's start with grip. For the grip, usually we grip a frisbee like this or like this. There's so many ways to grip it, but these are discs. These are different. These are a little heavier. So we want to put our thumb up here, right around the flight plate. You don't want it too far over because you want to be able to have some top control. Your pointer finger will run along the side of it. This will make as a guide for it to release from your hand smoothly. That way it doesn't release out at an angle or floppy. Now, the fingers underneath, you fan them out and you just kind of hold the disc up. So with your thumb on top, finger along the flight plate here, and hands underneath, you can hold the disc up straight and we can put it on a straight line. So up next is our stance. This is a little weird because when we're out playing frisbee with our friends, we usually just stand sideways and use our body. But when we're putting, we want the disc to go straight. So we don't want to stand sideways and pull the disc around our hips. So when we're putting, we want to line our toe up with the basket. Wherever we're trying to aim, we're going to line our toe up with it. And our back foot is going to be angled out a little bit for stability. If we have both of our feet going forward, we're going to be off balance. If we throw off balance, it won't be accurate. So with our front foot pointing forward, our back foot angled out, we can bend our knees a little bit to kind of get nice and settled. And then we can start rocking back and forth and putting ourselves in line with where we want the disc to go. For release, release is very important. If you release and you pull too far out, the disc will go out. If you release too early, it'll come in. You have to have your release on line with where you want to go. So we say, shake hands with the basket. So if you're rocking back and forth, and again, we bend this elbow to give us a straight line and not a rounded shot. So we're rocking back and forth with the basket, and we release our hand, that disc should go right on line with where we want it to go. Another thing that's key with release is actually lifting your back leg up when you throw. If you're trying to throw and you want to throw the disc high up in the air to where it can make it to the basket, if you throw the disc up, it'll just come right back down. The way that we put pitch on the disc, the way that we keep it suspended in the air all the way to the basket is by lifting this back leg off the ground. So that's why rocking back and forth can help you get lined up. And then when you release, this back leg comes up a little bit, and that gives the disc the pitch that it needs to make it. So a lot of times when we first start out, we see this basket, and we just aim for it, and we barely miss. It's so hard to be extremely accurate, so we need to narrow down our target. We're not going to look at the basket as a whole and try to hit it. We're going to single out one little chain link right here in the middle. If we single out this chain link and we hit the ones around it, it can still hit. drop it in the basket, and that will count. So putting is going to be the thing that lowers your score the most, but it's also going to be the thing that makes it most enjoyable. Because you don't want to go out and play and just sit there for 5 minutes trying to make it into one basket, because most courses have 18 holes. So as long as you go out there, you have a nice relaxed stance, you have your grip right, you have your release, and you know the mindset of picking out one chain link, you're ready to go disc golf. All you need is a disc, and you got to find a local course. And the best thing about it is it's free.